Two big games today in today's episode. The first one is in the weird mutant version of the Champions League that we're going to get in the future. I'm still not over it. Yeah, the weird Champions League table. We're going to be playing Borussia Dortmund in one of our toughest games so far, followed by a game against the team that's led the Premier League up until the last couple of games, and that is second placed Aston Villa. If that wants to happen in real life, I'd be very happy. Just want to put that out there. Everybody, and welcome to part 10 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where as mentioned, it's Borussia Dortmund in the weird Champions League group thing, and then Aston Villa in the Premier League. And if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games, then do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any of the lovely Football Manager content, nonsense stuff that comes out of this face right here. I messed that sentence up. Since you were last with us, it's been up and down, but we're still doing very well. We're currently third in the league, as you can see, 34 points from 17 games, not bad. We're currently third to Villa and Man City, both on 36 points. Man City by far and away with the best goal difference in the league. However, it is worth pointing out, in terms of goals scored, this guy right here, not me personally, of course, best goals scored in the league, 38 in 17. We've done very, very well, but we are mid-table on goals conceded. A very similar story to last season, so I think in the summer, we're planning ahead right already, but we need to completely reinvest in the defence and goalkeeper situation. I think I keep going back to Hoyenhal. I think Hoyenhal will be the answer in goal. We have a look at him, we have a look at how he's doing. He's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well indeed. Where is he? There he is. As you can see, last 5 games, 7.22, average rating 7.27. He's conceded 20 and 22, but that's not the real story. If we go to Serie A and we have a look at it, if I can, where is it? It's here somewhere. Here we go. He's actually not top of the clean sheets anymore. I thought he was. How far down is he? Joint third. So he's on 9, but he's actually got more than that when you compare other competitions. But the point is, he's really high up there. Now, if we have a look at the Premier League, and we see where where Lunin is, he's nowhere near. He's at the bottom. He's at the bottom of the list. So he's on the list, but he's at the bottom. He's kept 2 clean sheets all season. That is not acceptable. Now, that's not just down to him. It's going to be down to our defence as well. If we have a look at our defenders, it's going to be down to Borno, Pavlovic and Cresswell. I'm not including, where is it? I'm not including Nathan Collins in that because I've not really played him. But it's these guys. I mean, 6.88 in Charlie Cresswell's last few games. He doesn't like big matches, which I've discovered. And these guys, neither of them have broken a 7. Our actual running has been a bit up and down. We're still doing really, really well. But September, golden. Unbeaten in September. Beautiful. You saw that in the last episode. A mixed October. And a decent November, skipping a month there. Decent November. We won more games than we lost and drew. If you add the draws and losses together, we equaled our wins. But we did really, really well there. But, yeah, there's some games in here which is a struggle. Ajax was a bit of a concern. We looked a bit sluggish. We've not really gotten used to having 2 games every week. We've had, like, this barrage of 2 games every week, which everyone in the Champions League does. So, it's an excuse, but not much of one. But as you can see, Ajax, we struggled against. Blackburn was a bit of a slog, but we did get through. We did beat Bournemouth quite well, but again, conceded 2 sloppy goals. Got beat by Real Madrid. This was heartbreaking. It's an own goal from Aaron Hickey. It's Cresswell literally punting it into Hickey. A calamity there between those two. And other than that, we were the better team. Absolutely heartbreaking. We then beat Leeds. 2 draws on the bounce now with Man United and Sheffield United. The Sheffield United one, this one was heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Iheanacho comes on and just absolutely ruins us. Just did not deal with him. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But we're going to get into this game. We're going to see if we can turn things around. We are still in this ridiculous run of games at the moment where it's 2 games every week. So I'm waiting for a week where we can just give the players a week off because I think they need them. There's a lot of players here with heavy match workloads. Everyone's fit, but it's been a struggle. We have had injury issues as well. The only injured player at the moment is Aaron Hickey, but Cole Palmer's just come back. Tony Springett's just come back. James Price has had a couple of little niggles as well. Lavia's had injuries and suspensions. Luke Thomas has had suspensions. We did also lose Borno for a little bit as well. And Jimenez has not long come back as well. The only reason he's playing today is because Tino Livramento is shattered. So Let's just see what happens, shall we? But your starting 11 for the game against Borussia Dortmund is Lunin in goal, Jimenez, Borno, Pavlovic and Thomas in defence, Lavia, Marcus, Antonio and Joe Veloso in the midfield. And we've changed things around a little bit. It's more out of necessity because of the injuries, because at one point we only had 2 wingers, and our 2 wingers were Albastegi and Michael Holdford, who's been called up for 2 reasons. Number 1, we really needed a winger, and number 2, he's 18 years old. We're going to try and send him out on loan, so we've tried to showcase him a little bit. He scored a worldie of a goal in one of the last few games. Anyway, the point being, it's Marles, Pinamonti and Price up front. We've gone with this 2-striker system. Price up front has struggled at times, but as a deep line forward on attack on this side here, he's actually causing a lot of problems for teams. So we've not committed to this being our future formation. However, I would consider putting Cole Palmer there, because Cole Palmer can play as a striker. So once he's fully back up to speed, he's on the bench today, but once he's fully back up to speed, we might give him a go there, and then we can play James Price on the other side, and then we can actually swap them round. So James Price can play as the deep lying forward, and then we can have Cole Palmer go and play on the other side as an inverted winger, which is his preferred mode of play. But we'll give it a go and we'll see what happens today. It's worth pointing out Borussia Dortmund have not that long parted with their manager. So they are currently managerless. They're not having a good time in the Champions League. They're not having a good time in the Bundesliga as well. So it's a real opportunity here. This is a game we should really struggle against, and they have still got a good team, but there's still a few old names in there. I mean, I'm looking at Nicolas Sewell and I'm thinking we just need to just push him as much as we can. But they have still got Karim Adeyemi in the team. He's not moved to another club yet. So, I mean, if he's not moved to another club now, he probably won't. But he's going to be a tricky player to deal with. So we do need to keep an eye on him. Big ball through, looking for Pinamonti. Couldn't quite find it. Veloso heads it down, though. But we do give up possession. And Caprile, who's I feel like is a goalkeeper I have looked to use in the past. I can't remember when. I feel like it was either in a previous save this season or it might have been last year. Pinamonti scored while I'm talking about that, by the way. Pinamonti went on a bit of a rough patch of form, but he was shattered. But it was when Price was injured. And because Tommy Gardner has gone... Is it Tommy Gardner? I think it's either Tony Gardner or Tommy Gardner. I'm pretty sure it's Tommy Gardner. Gardner has gone out on loan, and he's doing pretty well out on loan. He's struggled a little bit to get his place in the team, but he's starting to do that now. Because of that, we don't actually have another striker. Bear in mind, Cole Palmer can play there. He was injured. Marles has been injured as well. He can play there. Albastegi, the kid on loan from Man City, was the other one we could use as a striker. But I barely used him, and I don't really want to start using him out of position. So we just kind of gave up on that, if I'm honest. And we just kept using Pinamonti, giving him a couple of days rest at a time. When really what he needs is a week off. Quite a few of these players just need a week off at this point. We need to talk about Lunin. Every now and then... Oh, God. Every now and then he just does something stupid. I can't remember what game it was, but it was one of the ones recently. The ball came straight at him, and he literally did the... I don't know if anyone remembers Roy Carroll, former Manchester United goalkeeper, Northern Ireland goalkeeper. He did the old geet over the shoulder, which just I was not impressed with at all. My head was in my hands while I was playing the game when that happened. I had some lovely stuff here at the moment. Lavia gets it to Thomas. Thomas into Price. Price tries to get it through. I mean, Price has gone down in the box there. The referee not interested. I didn't even think the referee was looking at it personally. Right, Veloso goes out wide. Veloso is doing really well on this side as a Mazzala. He's got the space in there because there's no one out there to just drift there. And as you can see, it's led to a goal for Andrea Pinamonti. Pinamonti, I think, is joint top of the goal scoring charts at the moment. Erling Haaland has caught him up. I must just live it. I think we've moved to an area that's got a lot of motorbikes. I don't know why. I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. But we're 2-0 up, and that's the main thing that happens. Pinamonti has, I think, rediscovered the Midas touch. And the more games we have where we play well in this system, the more I'm going to have to consider changing to this system. Because James Price, I think, is just causing chaos in the defence. It's creating space for Pinamonti. It's creating space for Veloso to drift out wide. Veloso's had a rough patch of form recently as well. He's just started to pick back up. But he seems to be playing better in this system where he's got space to drift out on that left-hand side. Remember, he doesn't play as a winger. He's only a central midfielder. I say only. But he can only play as a central midfielder and an attacking midfielder. Not interested in playing on the wing at all. Which is a shame because actually, again, the sloppiness in defence is what's killing us at the moment. We're so sloppy in defence. We've got really good defensive coaching. We're training defensive stuff every single week. I don't know what it is that's causing us to be so sloppy, but we just seem to not be interested in defending properly. Like, we've ignored the ball there, quite frankly. And Lunin hasn't covered himself in glory either. And it's 2-1 all of a sudden. We've given Dortmund a way back in at the moment. Now, they are a club in a little bit of turmoil with their league form, with the Champions League form, with the fact that I don't actually think they actually have a manager at the moment. I think they're with a caretaker at the moment. But that's, I mean, even with their quality, it's concerning that we've conceded a goal in that manner. And we concede a lot of those goals, and it worries me a bit. So I do think in the summer, reinvest in our central defence. Fullbacks, I think, were fine. I genuinely think Thomas is great, Livramento is great, Jimenez is great. Aaron Hickey can have a good game every now and then. He can have a utterly terrible one every now and then as well. But I think that's where we need to invest. Central defence, we'll have a look. I think Pavlovic is fine. I think Cresswell is okay, but we can't rely on Cresswell. If he's not good at big matches, I'm not being funny. We're at the point now where I think every game is going to be a big match. Or we're going to have more big matches than not, especially in the Champions League. I mean, he's not starting today. We signed him to be a starter in this team. The fact that he can't play big matches, I mean, do not be surprised if I put him up for sale in the summer. Do not be surprised. Obviously, I won't let him go if we don't get more money for him than we paid, because I don't want to make a loss on him. Big ball over the top there from Thomas. Price is on the end of it now. Price looking for options. Chips it in, looking for Marles. Marles. I think he spotted someone on the back row that he didn't like. He decided to eat it at them. It's 2-1. We're winning in a game that, realistically, if you think about it, Borussia Dortmund, we shouldn't be anywhere near them. We really shouldn't. Marles, I'm going to tell it, absolutely shambolic, quite frankly. We're going to try and G James Price up a little bit more. Antonio's not had the best of games. We'll give it 10 minutes or so, and I think Antonio and Marles are the two who are ripe for removal. So we'll see how they go. We'll demand a bit more from the boys as well. We want to see a bit more. We want to see us push on a little bit more. We've shown we can score goals against this team. Let's just show that we cannot concede too many as well. Right, Pinamonti, looking for Price. Just can't quite get there. Schlotterbeck gets there instead. Stefan now on the ball. I'm going to go back to the goalkeeper, I think Caprile, who again, I've got in my head and I can't remember why. I'm sure I've tried to sign him for a club. I just can't remember what that club is. It's obviously not in this series. It must have been in FM22. I'm thinking in my head, I might have tried to sign him for West Ham or Aston Villa in FM22. Lunin. Again, we have to remember, Borussia Dortmund, turmoil or not, are still a very, very good team. Right, Marles is coming off. He's had a shocker. And I think we're going to be bringing Cole Palmer on for his return. And we'll get him some minutes. We'll play him on his preferred side at the moment. And I want to see how this dynamic works. Because if these two play really well in these positions here, I mean, I say really well. James Price, I bigged him up. And he's actually not performed in this game, really. We're also going to bring on Ward-Prowse in here as the box-to-box midfielder. Again, I haven't really noticed our play be any worse without a playmaker. Certainly James Ward-Prowse as a playmaker doesn't work. And just having him on as a set-piece merchant, I feel like it's just worth having. Right, we have a throw. Thomas to Veloso. Looking for Ward-Prowse on the edge of the box. I mean, I don't know why, because Ward-Prowse is not a striker of the ball when it comes to open play. Free kicks, fantastic. Long shots, terrible. Football Manager, explain yourself, because I don't understand how that can logically work. Right, Pinamonti in for his hat-trick here, and Caprile with a good save. You could argue Pinamonti should have gone far post, but still, it's a good save from, I think, the Italian? I think? It's going to be a Ward-Prowse corner. He's going to be looking for the header. Pavlovic can't quite find him, and well, so we go again. They go again. Things reset, and we hope that we can. I mean, Palmer's not started well, has he? To be fair, it's his first game back from his injury. I'm not expecting him to have a worldie. I'd like him to just have an average game, to be honest. I mean, 6.7, 6.8, I'd be really happy with. Right, Palmer now, looking to get it to Lavia. Lavia now to Jimenez. Lovely ball over the top. Jimenez going to try and get back into that form he was in last season. Waiting for the last moment. Pinamonti's there. Gets his hat-trick. Unless it gets disallowed or something daft like that. I don't think it's going to be. But it is a hat-trick for Andrea Pinamonti. Delightful. Delightful. That makes me feel a little bit better. And again, I'm not happy with the goal we conceded, but we conceded a goal against Borussia Dortmund. If you took out the nature of the goal, I wouldn't be too unhappy about this. It's just, the sloppiness of that goal wasn't good. I mean, Friedel there has had a shocker, quite frankly. Absolute shocker. Right, substitution o'clock. We've got a couple of yellow cards. Price has actually had a half-decent game, so I'm not too worried about him. But I'm looking at the tired people on the pitch. I'm actually thinking we might put Price up front now. We'll take Pinamonti. Well, I'll tell you what. Cole Palmer can come and we'll try him out over here. And we're going to bring on Springett or Abastegi. We'll bring Springett. Nah, do we bring Springett on? But he needs to get football. So, yeah, we'll bring him on. And then we've got a couple more changes. Pavlovic has got a yellow. We're going to take him off for... No, we're not going to take him off. We're going to leave him on, actually. I'd like to take some of these guys off. What we will do is we'll bring off Jimenez for Livramento. No, tell you what. We'll bring off Jimenez for Collins. And Luke Thomas can come off for Livramento. Because these guys are going to stay where they are. They're going to stay in the middle along with Lavia. Form a bit of a wall here. And these guys are the ones bombing forward. So we'll get those guys on to give a bit more energy. We'll change you to a fullback on attack. Do that. That feels like the wisest thing to do. Sort of, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if it works. Hopefully it will. But a Pinamonti hat-trick, beautiful. 3 different assists as well. Lavia, Veloso, and Jimenez. Love a fourth. If we could just get a cheeky fourth, a James Ward-Prowse assist, that'd just be perfect. I'm trying to record a video. Keep your horn to yourself. I nearly missed a goal then. I mean, that would have been spectacular if I was looking away and Cole Palmer would have stuck it in the back of the net. But it's good to see that he's getting forward in this position, actually. Right, Price now. Veloso. Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse trying to get forward. Licks it into Palmer. Gets it into Palmer. And it is going to be a corner for Ward-Prowse to whip in. But again, Palmer getting involved as a deep lying forward. You love to see it. Right. Ward-Prowse is going to be aiming for one of the central defenders. Borno was there. Didn't get on it though. Spring it now. Big heavy touch again. His match sharpness is at an absolute low. It's to be expected. He's going to take a while to get back up to speed. But Spring it is one of those players who he's not a very good player in terms of the squad, but he's just got a bit of magic about him that he can just do things for us. Right, Livramento, speaking of a bit of magic, is he going to just whack it? He is going to whack it. What a goal that is from Tino Livramento. He was out the door practically when I joined. He had a foot out the door. And Tino Livramento cuts inside. He's not on an inverted wing back. He just decides to come and have a bit of a run. And I'm here for it. What a strike from Tino. I don't even think his long shots are that good. Well, I wanted a fourth and I wanted an assist from James Ward-Prowse. I've got both there and a worldie. It's 4-1. I need to double check, by the way, how exactly this league table works. I'm assuming everything that's in green in this league table, we'll have a quick nose at it in a minute. We'll say well done to everyone. A couple of people we need to have a chat to, but I'm assuming everyone in green automatically goes past the next round, if that makes sense. So I'm assuming all of these boys get through to the round after the next round, and then these guys have like a playoff, I'm assuming. That's where I'm going with it. It would make the most... Shall we look? Shall we have a look? Managerless Dortmund. Yeah, I was going to say Dortmund. Let's have a look, because I'm not too sure. And you might not have played this as well, but I highly doubt it. So yeah, if you finish in the top 8, round of 16, everyone down to 24th goes into the knockout playoff rounds. How many people are actually in this group? 36. So from 24 to 30, so 25 to 36, sorry, you're out. And at the moment, the biggest casualty would actually be Dortmund's. Barcelona are risking it as well. We've got Barcelona to play still. And Rennes. So we've got a couple of games where actually we could be alright. Okay. I was a bit concerned at one point, but actually we've absolutely battered them. But again, pinch of salt. They're having a terrible season. They haven't got a manager. The real test comes in the next game. Against Aston Villa. Managed by Lionel Scaloni. Captain is Emi Martinez is still there. Vice captain is Douglas Luiz is still there. Anyone who doesn't know, I'm a Villa fan, so that's why I'm so interested in looking at this. Ollie Watkins is actually still there. Scored 11 times for them this season. Got an assist as well. How many England caps has he got? 7 and 2 goals. I don't know if that's more than what he had in real life when we started the save. But, I mean, again, you look at the squad. There's a lot of oldies in here, but there's a lot of youngsters as well. Kent Boye, I'm pretty sure, scored in the European Championships. Sure, he scored the winner. In the 2 goals in the final, I'm sure he did. Emi Buendia still here as well. Okay. Matty Cash as well. Leon Bailey on the bench. Probably won't be when it comes to the game. Okay, they've got players. I'm still a bit surprised that they're where they are, but we're going to go ahead and we'll see how we get on against Aston Villa. Oh, it's going to be bittersweet if we beat them because they're at the top of the table or near the top of the table. I don't know what I'm going to do. Of the game against Aston Villa, it's second place Aston Villa. We have currently fallen down to 5th in the league due to games that have already been played, but this is going to be the 11 that's hopefully going to get us back there. Just again, no Aaron Hickey currently injured. Francois Herald has picked up a little knock as well, so he's not going to be involved today. But this is the 11 we're going to go with. It's very similar to the last game. It's Lunin in goal, Livramento, Borno, Pavlovic and Thomas in defence. Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Veloso in the midfield, with Marles as the winger and Price and Pinamonti up front. We've changed Lunin to a sweeper keeper on defend rather than the sweeper keeper on support that he was, because sometimes he comes out and we live to regret it. So I'm going to see whether that makes any difference. I don't really get on with sweeper keepers other than sweeper keepers on defend. If they come out too far, I just seem to not have a lot of joy with them. Not a lot of joy at all. As you can see our recent form, 2 wins, a loss and 2 draws. It's been a bit up and down actually in recent times. But Aston Villa's form, let's have a quick nose at theirs. It's been wins and a draw. They are doing very, very well. And looking at their squad, I don't really know what exactly it is that's got them playing so well. But as you can see, we, along with Villa, haven't played as many games. United have played 19 all of a sudden. So a win today would get us back near the top of the table. So let's see whether we can do that. Fingers crossed we can, and we get things underway. Bittersweet, because I'm seeing Villa, they win, they're at the top of the table. And that stings a little bit that I might be the cause, even if it's in a game of Villa not being at the top of the table. Price now into Pinamonti. Pinamonti should be burying that. It goes against Kepa. The game adjusted a bit there. I don't know if it adjusted for you guys. It actually didn't go out for a corner. It went out for a throw, but it was a great opportunity there. Price having a really good early start to the game. Poor pass there from the defence, but Livramento recovers with it. And now Borno are going to try and go again. Gets it to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse, big ball over the top to Veloso, who drifts wide. Veloso, waiting for support, doesn't get it. Goes back to Lavia. Lavia now into Thomas. Thomas looking for Pinamonti. And Pinamonti heads just over. He's decent in the air, Andrea Pinamonti. But he's not spectacular in the air. So he's good enough to get the opportunities, but not always good enough to convert them. And I think we've just won a penalty. I think Marles has been pushed by Slory. I didn't really see it, I've got to say. I would argue Marles has maybe made the most of that, and he's won a penalty for us, and it will be Marles who will take it. He's got a bit of a sketchy record. He's missed one this season that I can remember. He scored a couple as well, so he is capable of putting it in the back of the net, and he's shown it there because we go ahead by a goal to nil. I don't know whether play for set pieces affects penalties, but we have won a decent amount of penalties this year, and Marles, again, he's missed one. He ended up recovering, he ended up scoring in that game, but he's gone and scored here again. It's the 3rd penalty in a row that he scored. We have had a good number of them, and we do go ahead by a goal to nil early on. And that puts us, well, it hasn't updated on the table yet, but it will put us back up probably to around 3rd or 2nd, maybe even 1st, depending on how Man City are getting on. We'll see the updated table when it loads. Right, Bailey now into Douglas Luiz. What a goal that would have been from Douglas Luiz. He's got them in his locker. He has got them in his locker, and this actually would at least for now put us top of the table with Man City still to play. Right, James Ward-Prowse looking for Borno. Borno is there, and Borno makes it too. James Ward-Prowse with another superb set piece. Even if we've only got him for this season, we'll see how he looks at the end of the season, whether we keep him on again. I think he's on a 2-year contract. He's on a 2-year contract. He'll be a bit part player next season more than likely, because I can't imagine at 34 he'll still have useful stats. Maybe he will though. So far the only thing that's going down is his acceleration, and if that's the only thing that goes down by one rating or 2, it's not the end of the world. Right, we have a throw-in. Livramento. Keep forgetting to put Luke Thomas on throw-in. So Livramento keeps ending up out of position as a result of it. And we are going to, at some point, pay for it. I will change it in a minute. And then I will change it when I'm in between. I thought we were going to pay for it then, actually. Right, I'm changing it now. Let's not be silly about this, Stu. Luke Thomas. Set piece. Confirm. Right. I'm also going to do it here. Let's just get it sorted. Set piece takers. Luke Thomas. Can't do it because we're in the middle of a game. Right. Remind me. I need to do that when we finish the game. I don't know how you're going to remind me, but I trust you to remind me. Right. Bailey. Intercepted, and we win the ball back. Ward-Prowse again looking for options. Tries to find Veloso. He's found him, actually. Veloso goes all the way out wide. Gets it into Price. Price absolutely bowled over there by Douglas Luiz. The question is it in the box? I mean, the ball is in the box. Is it a penalty? Is it a free kick? I mean, a free kick for James Ward-Prowse is practically a penalty anyway. So let's see what we get. Do we get our second? We do. We get a second penalty of the game, and it's going to be Darian Marles again to take it. Can he put it in the back of the net again? and get a second penalty of the game. Absolutely ridiculous. He goes the same way and everything, and he just put it in the net. Kepa doesn't keep it out, and we score. It's 3-0. Aston Villa getting wrecked. And I don't know what it is. We've really been labouring to results in recent times, but maybe this offset 4-3-3 is the way to go. Maybe having the two strikers up top is just confusing people a bit. I mean, Pinamonti's not having a good game, but Price is living his best life at the moment. Right, free kick from Bailey. Alvarez heads it, and Lunin watches it, struggles a little bit, but in the end it goes over, so it's absolutely fine. Right, Villa go again. They really need to get something in this half to get back in this game, so they will be pushing for it now. We need to try and do our best to make sure that that doesn't happen. Tanganga playing it right back. Doesn't do anything. Thomas now. That's Veloso. Veloso didn't seem to realise he'd had the ball passed to him there. If we concede after this, I'm gonna be so frustrated. Right, Douglas Luiz. It's deflected as well. It's even worse. Okay, but it's 3-1. It's not the end of the world, but that was horrendous from Joe Veloso. Thomas passing him the ball. We're not going to see it, annoyingly. I'd love to see it again, but Thomas, with a really simple pass to Veloso. Veloso didn't seem to realise it was registered for him. But remember, Veloso was in a wide position, but he's not playing wide. That's what you've got to remember. So, actually, although it is frustrating, I can kind of understand it. I can understand why the game, at the very least, has kind of made him not do the thing there. But it's still frustrating. Right, we go again. Second half. We're still 2 goals ahead. We're going to demand more from the boys. I want another one. I want to get 4. 4 and I'll be more comfortable. Right, Alvarez gets it into Tanganga. Tanganga getting it into Ollie Watkins. And they've gone and scored immediately. Right, attacking. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. He's left the ball in the net, Ollie Watkins. Right, going attacking. We're demanding more again. We're not having that. Come on. The sloppy pass from Livramento. What is going on? We were so good in the first half and we've capitulated inside the first few minutes. Right, Jones. Whipping it in. Players aren't trusting each other there. I don't know what Pavlovic was doing. He should have left it for Lunin. Lunin was there waiting to get it. Get the ball, boys. What is happening here? Seriously. Bailey's in here. Thomas does really well to get the ball back, and Veloso launches it forward to Pinamonti. Right, do we have a chance to get something? Ward-Prowse into Marles. Marles, remember, he's on a hat-trick. 2 of them have been penalties, but that's not the point. He is on a hat-trick. Right, Marles waits for support. Livramento now, whipping it in, looking for the header. Pinamonti finds it, and we get a 4th. And I can breathe a little bit more now. It is 4-2. But again, I've mentioned before, sloppy defending. Very sloppy defending. I allow the first one to happen, but that was very sloppy. And the fact that we could have just capitulated there infuriates me a little bit. Right, Ward-Prowse. So we're going to get a 5th. Launches it in. He's looking for Pinamonti again, actually. Veloso's going to get on the end of it. I do blame Veloso for that goal. Very much so. I blame him very much so for that. That was the goal before half-time, that is. Not the second goal that they scored. The first goal, I blame Veloso for that because he just wasn't paying attention. Marles holding on to the ball there. I think he was probably looking to find a way to shoot there. Right, Price into Pinamonti. Pinamonti's there. Kepa makes the save. Olivas clears it. Price is going to let that go out for a throw. And we go back to where we were. Right, Kepa just launched himself onto the ball there. Don't really know why. Lunin is a little bit nervous. Pressured by the feedback, actually, so that's my fault. Right, Ward-Prowse into Livramento. We have told Ward-Prowse as well, don't run with the ball. Just pass it. Pass or shoot. Pinamonti. Oh! So close. So close. I've annoyed them a little bit, but actually this seems to have fired them up. Right, Pavlovic was looking to get on the end of it there. Couldn't quite. Marles now looking to get the ball into the box. Goes to Lavia. Lavia shaping up to shoot. He does shoot. Goes just over. I would have preferred him to pass it. I'm not going to lie to you. Would have much preferred him to pass it. But it is what it is. Pavlovic is the one having a bad game today so far. Lavia's not having his best time out there either. So we might consider making a few changes. I will say, Ugarte definitely not impressed me this season. That's the reason why he's not played as much as he could have done. Pavlovic does well to intercept there. We've given the ball away to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey on the ball there, but just skies it. Not like in real life, actually. Ugarte hasn't impressed me this season. I'm disappointed in that transfer. I thought it was a shrewd signing, bringing in someone with Champions League experience on a free. We'll let this play out. We've got a corner. I thought it was a shrewd signing. I still think it was a shrewd signing, but he just hasn't performed as well as we'd like him to. He comes in, we've played him as a ball winner, we've played him as a halfback. He prefers to be a ball winner, apparently. To be honest, he's been sloppy in passing. But then, some of that might be my fault. I've not played him as often as I should, and as a result, he doesn't really have full match sharpness at any point that I've used him. We're just letting Thomas Jones in here. I don't know what we were doing. Can we just tackle him next time, boys? I don't mind. I don't mind you going in on him. It's fine. Do it outside the box. I do not mind. Right. Make a couple of changes. Boys are looking a bit tired. I've left it a bit longer than I was going to, actually. Pavlovic is tired. I'm a bit worried about bringing Cresswell on, but we have got a 2-goal advantage. So let's do that. We'll swap him with Borno. I think we'll also bring off Lavia. I'm going to give... I'm going to give Ugarte a chance. I'm going to give him a chance. Veloso actually was having a good game, but since that mistake, he hasn't really been that well. So we're going to bring Murray on as well. We'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. And then I might change one of the fullbacks just for freshness. I don't know which one. Possibly Thomas, just because he's having the worst game. Right, we've got a corner here from Ward-Prowse. Can he get it on the head of Charlie Cresswell? That'd be amazing if he could. Actually gets it on the head of Borno, and it's a wonderful save from Kepa Arrizabalaga. I think I said his name right. I used to be really good at saying his name. I don't know why. And then everyone called him Kepa when he signed for Chelsea. I got very disappointed. And Cresswell is there this time, but he heads it just over. Unfortunate not to get it in the back of the net. We are starting to really tire here, so I think we do need to make those last change or two. I think we've got 2 changes left. Right, they're whipping it in here. George is going to get on the end of it. He's going to try and put it back into the box. Gets it in there, but it's actually dealt with relatively well. And Price is going to get on the end of it here now, and we're going to look to break. But he's just dwells on the ball a little bit. He is tiring, bless him, but it's a bit frustrating. Right, that makes my mind up. Price off, Palmer on. That's happening. And then I'm going to do a fullback change. I think Luke Thomas is going to come off. Jimenez will come on, and we'll swap him for Tino. Now Tino can do a good job on that left-hand side. Let's do that. Right. Douglas Luiz goes back to Bueno Pietro. Pietro? I don't know. Whoever he is. The Aston Villa defender. If he's even a defender. Balls into Watkins. They've scored again. Might be offside. I think his flag is up. I mean, I've got glasses on. I actually don't think it is up. It's another sloppy goal to concede, though. But then, bear in mind, I'm saying it's a sloppy goal. Villa are near the top of the table. So, I'm berating the boys. It's unacceptable that we keep conceding these goals, especially late ones. And Lunin, I mean, the change to sweeper keeper on defend has done nothing for him. But James Ward-Prowse just says, no, sir, hold my beer. I'm going to go and stick one in top bins. What a strike that is. I was convinced that was going to be going over. That's why I didn't even break my train of thought. Sit back down, Villa. Sit back down. Who do you think you are? Feels really bad saying that. I love Aston Villa. I'm so sorry, Villa. Oh, but we're winning. I mean, we've got another 2-goal gap. We're all about that 2-goal gap today. Right, Pinamonti's actually in. Can we make it a 3-goal gap? We can. It is 6. It is 6. We've kind of made it a bit better. We have been the better team here today, to be fair, but we just keep letting them back in. But at the death, we have kind of pushed past them. Again, defensively is the issue. We've gotten worse since Charlie Cresswell came on. I don't want to necessarily put it down to him, but we have got worse since he came on, so maybe that was the thing. I think, what I said before, defence is what we need to invest in next season. Very much so. But that is a very good result, and for now at least, we're top of the table. I don't think we're going to stay there. I don't think we're going to stay there for a second. But we are top of the table, which is absolutely delightful. Right, let's have a look at when we're going to be back, shall we? I think we already discussed this. We're going to come back a lot earlier between, well, the last couple of episodes, actually. We're going to have come back a lot earlier. So, normally, we'd have played at the end of October, beginning of November. In actuality, we played early October. And we would have gone through to January. We're going to still go through to January, so it's going to be like a couple more episodes for this season, but we're going to come back in and around that Barcelona game, possibly even for Manchester City. We've got Bournemouth in the FA Cup 3rd round. That's the same Bournemouth who we beat 4-2 there. Same Bournemouth who we do have a rivalry against, remember? Geography and all that. So, I don't quite know what we'll do. I feel like we might skip past FA Cup 3rd round, which feels a bit weird because I like to come back for that. But actually, I'm looking at Barcelona. it's a game against a massive, massive European team. Like, we skipped Real Madrid, we can't skip Barcelona as well. So I think we'll come back for that game, and then we'll play a game either side of it, either Brentford or Manchester City. That sounds like a plan to me. Before we do go, let's check on the former clubs. Let's see how they're doing. So Tranmere are currently 10th in the Championship. So they were predicted to go straight down into League One. But actually, they're doing all right. 10th, 30 points. They've got a minus goal difference, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. I'm assuming some of our boys will still be there if we have a quick nose at them. I really hope they are. Let's have a look at their starting 11. So O'Brien's still there. Pollock is still there. Thierry Small is there as well. He's not one of our old boys, but he did come from Southampton. Shackleton's still in there. Tommy Lee's still in there. But Benjamin's in there. Kumas is now in the first team, just about. But Amari Benjamin not quite scoring at the rate he did in that one season, which was utterly ridiculous. I thought he scored more than that in the league, you know. But it's still utterly ridiculous. It did get us promoted. And we've got some... Where's his face gone? I'm sure he had a face before. I don't know. That's a question for another day. But there are players in here that I recognise, which is the main thing. It's good to see Xavier Spearing is in the first team now as well. What about little old Dartford? How are they doing? Still in the National League. Currently 4th in the National League, though. So they're cementing themselves in a playoff place, which I think, to be fair, if we have a look at how they've done in recent times, I think they're pretty... Actually, So, we got them promoted from National League South to National League. They then finished nearly bottom of League 2. Not quite bottom of League 2, but nearly bottom of League 2. Then it's 2 6th place finishes. Last season, that was an absolute travesty for them. But this season, they've kind of recovered to where they were before. So, they are levelling out in the National League, which is good to see. But I will see you for the game against Barcelona and another game in and around there as well. And fingers crossed we can do just as well as we did against Borussia Dortmund. And hopefully it's not a repeat of the Real Madrid game where we lost. So let's see what happens. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Please remember, like the video for me if you did enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the Football Manager content to come in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.